Today, we're going to do a cord cutting healing. So we're going to be cutting away any negativity, any old behaviors, any old connections that you just want to let go to purge forward into your new future. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like and comment. You know I respond to all your comments. So let's go ahead and get started. As we do usually, if you're new to the community, I say a prayer and I ask you for permission. It's not a religious prayer, it's a spiritual prayer. It's a prayer to connect us within ourselves in our healing journey and connect community. So I'm going to go ahead and ask, may I say a prayer? Okay, thank you. Just take 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Final breath. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Just continue to breathe on your own here. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for our highest good, please connect us as a community, rooting us down in our own individual healing journey. Please bring us forward into the light and bring us higher vibrational experiences, people, and situations and circumstances in order to connect us to our full purpose. Let us stand in this truth. Let us build strength. Let us build endurance. And let us build confidence. And I say all of this in the name of I am. So short and sweet, to the point. Still connecting upon the Reiki masters, the ascendant masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, our ancestors, our lineage, our spirit animals and spirit guides, and all for our general highest good. We always bring those in, and if you have some special people in your life, like family members, past or current, that really have touched your life in such a positive way, then you can always add them in too, because their energy is a reflection of that kind of guardian angelship over you. Okay, so I have a root chakra candle, and it's a candle of balancing. I also like to use it whenever we talk about money. Before, we've talked about Taurus, Uranus going to Taurus in retrograde. It's a time where money things, financial things, career things, self-worth and general things come up. And so navigate that as best as you can, but you're probably going to have to take a cold hard look at things. So instead of being reactive, listen to it, see what it is, and then make some decisions, make some plans of how you want to change your life to really get ahead. You know, first is first, you can always live below your means. A second choice is that you can always add another job, change your income, this, and that, or in a mixture of all of those. So right now I'm just going to clear you out with some Palo Santo. If you're new to the community, this is my favorite smudging type tool, because I think it smells so good. It like gives me this kind of like fall spice, nutmeg, cinnamon type thing. And I really love cinnamon. So continue to breathe here, and I'm just going to focus a little bit right here on your root chakra. Just giving you a clear path to your ancestors, to the center of the earth, the ultimate grounding to the divine. Moving it up now to your sacral, your navel, that place of creativity, both of fertility for babies as well as fertility for projects. Moving it up to your confidence, that place where you just really connect and push your purpose forward. Moving it up to your heart, where you are vulnerable and you connect to that purpose. Moving it up now to your throat, where you speak your truth, and you speak your truth with confidence, pulling from that energy of the lower chakras. Moving it up to your third eye, your brow chakra, that place, that psychic ability, so that you can see the path in front of you, as well as have the confidence, the trust, and belief to take the path. Sometimes the path is easier than we think it should be, and so we don't trust it, but go ahead and trust that. So just putting that there. And then finally, your crown chakra, that place where you connect with the divine. and get that higher self energy. So you see the macro view of your life. So take a deep breath in, inhaling upward, pulling that grounding energy up. A gesture of consciousness all the way to your top chakra. Exhale, bringing that energy back down. A gesture of manifesting, taking the esoteric into the physical. Both are very important. Just sealing your aura here. Okay, beautiful. So let's go ahead and just really get into this cord cutting session. You have the candle there, so if anything comes up and you need to let it go and you feel like you don't have anywhere to go ahead and just release it into the camera. Release it into the candle. It has been Reiki charged, so the intention of it is to move energy, lower vibrational energy onto its next evolutionary path. So I got some scissors, and we're really staying in this kind of like red, jasper kind of lower chakra energy to really ground us down. Okay. So I'm just going to be doing some pulling. And just take a couple breaths. Now this is your choice. Okay. And when I say it's your choice, what I mean by that is that you literally have the option to make a decision of what it is that you want to let go. If you need a little bit of support, or you just want some guidance, you want some kind of like ambiance, I would go ahead and say that think of a relationship, friends, family, romantic, present or past, that you really feel like you want to disconnect from. And it's at the point where it's not one of those things where it's somebody is so evil or you're so evil. It's just like, hey, that was a lesson or an understanding that we came to together to have to go through this experience. Thank that person, might even be people, thank them, for helping you learn that wisdom. But let them go, because I know sometimes people like to hold on. We like to hold on, and it's just like, it's okay to let them go. I started to think about that when I was reading the comments, and I see that some people have like reconnected with friends, and that can go one of two ways. And the reason why I say that is because if you're taking your healing journey very serious and they're taking their healing journey, and it doesn't necessarily mean they have to be going through energy videos and things like that. It just means like they're taking their I want to be a better person, I want to live in a different way and not have those same kind of negative patterns. Then it's actually a unbelievably beautiful evolution that I think is super rare and super lovely. If not, if you all are still at different states, then it can be very difficult. And I live it myself, I had to make some decisions of who really to hold on to and who not to put so much energy to. And I guess the toughest thing for me, to be honest with you, is that realization that, no matter what happened, these are not evil people or bad people or, someone who is just completely horrible. They may have made mistakes. But I had to realize that it's like, if I'm going to hold myself accountable, there's also that realization that I don't react to these people well. And I cannot blame them for the way that I react, especially if I know how they are. And this is a lot of the content that I used to talk about with community back in January of this year. Just making those hard decisions of letting people go, and it not being a selfish thing, it being an evolutionary thing, and allowing them to have better connections, better friendships, better understanding. And it's not easy. It's not pretty. Not everybody is going to like you. For me, my biggest problem was that I never wanted to be someone who left others behind. I wanted to be that friend that, holds you down when it's like the worst of the worst, so that when it's the best of the best, that my intention. But I had to realize that, like, the intention of that was rooted in something that really wasn't healthy for me. So these perfect scenarios with the perfect kind of energy formed, but when it was at its best, I saw that. But when it was at its worst, I saw something different. And I had to move forward and be very honest with myself. You all know, in community, I try to be very uplifting. I try to hold myself in community responsible for our own self-care, self-power, moving forward. And also have that gentleness, because look, I don't know everything. Duh, right? But I do know that I know enough, and I know the most that I need for myself. And I think in being honest and having that conversation with myself, I felt like what I could give community is that empowerment to trust yourself, to know that I am like the facilitator of the journey, but you are the one who's really in power here to make that decision of what you're going to do with your life. And we're just here to support each other and not judge each other, and this and that. That's who I am. And I really, really, really appreciate you all for sharing your journeys and being honest and vulnerable, because I know it's not easy. And I just think that that energy that I have and that we've been able to create as a community here is something that I was not getting out of my actual circles of community prior. And even though I had the same energy, the circumstances weren't right. And so focusing on you all and our healing together has been something that has not only uplifted me, but I, hope that it has uplifted you and really helped you to gain your power and your sense of purpose and connect to your greatest, version of yourself. And that meant I had to let some people go, and I had to let some circumstances go, because those would drain me so much that I couldn't even fathom creating a community like this, because it was weighing me down so much. And that's hard when you really love, you really care. People are good. You see their highest intention, but just know that it's not working. And it's a process. We're all in this together, but just letting go. So those are the people. Now I want to talk a little bit about our own habits. Even myself, I talk so much about budgeting. I talk so much about being assertive in your decisions, about career, about money, about the life you're living, because these are the things that I had to face and am having to face with myself. So I'm just sharing with community how I am navigating space and always learning more. I try to be receptive to the energy that comes my way, and sometimes it's difficult, because when it comes to financial things, especially with this period of Uranus and Taurus right now in retrograde, I've always felt very, very secure when I felt financially sound. But in the past 3 years, it's almost like, okay, mastered that level. Now I got to bring it here. And it's been so difficult for me to get here, because I felt good and comfortable right here. But if I really want to get up here, I have to do the work and change it. And it was super tough, because I had to realize all the times that I would spend money to make me feel emotionally better, and not taking action on certain situations, whether that be people, whether it be my own lack of self-confidence and wanting to pursue something that I thought was a good idea. I mean, just to give you an example, I teach yoga. I've been teaching yoga for about 3 years, and I started my own yoga business. And for any of you business owners out there, it's tough work. You make a lot of mistakes. You learn how to navigate your space. But honestly, I didn't start the business until I was kind of at my lowest point, and I felt like, well, what do I have to lose? And then when I look back and see all the opportunities that I had, that I could have, started this business when I had kind of, a lot of energy, a lot of people I just couldn't do. I couldn't fathom I was holding myself back. And so that's what I mean by, holding yourself accountable to and being able to admit that and letting that go. So I'm just going to take a couple of moments right now to just ask you, has there been a time where you held yourself back? And how would you, or are you going to change that now? I'm listening. Okay. I want you to go a little bit deeper. I'm just right now just really releasing any bounds that make it difficult to speak about it or be truthful or to see the reality without being deeply devastated within. Okay. Let me ask you, during that time, did you feel like you had community support? Exactly, that could be friends, family, co-workers, interest groups that you like, hobbies kind of thing. Okay. So how can you live your life now with making those changes or whatever you're interested in now, learning from those past mistakes and actually getting on the other side of that? Okay. Got it. Okay. Well, that's really beautiful, and it's not easy. And kind of like what I said earlier, it's like not everything is going to be super happy, but it doesn't have to be negative. It's just like when you honestly keep it real with yourself, you learn a lot. So smoothing your aura here. You learn a lot. And sometimes the hardest and kind of most necessary thing to do is when you are the most uncomfortable, being able to sit in it and not allow your thoughts to go crazy, not to allow your actions to go crazy, but just literally sit in it and just breathe your way through it. And like I said previously, if you feel like you're at a point where you need help, of course you seek, mental health practitioners, you seek community, you seek those close to you. Never feel like you really have to keep it within yourself. It is not their responsibility to resolve how you feel, but they can always be there and give some good advice. If you're in that in-between area where you're just trying to find who is my community, we're here for you. But also just take some time to think about all the friends you have, even people you're not that close with, and just choose one person who has really good energy you like. Maybe you all aren't close, and just decide to maybe send them a text or just send them a call, see how they're doing, and just let it change your understanding. That's been super healing for me, to get very close to people who give me more energetically, like bring me up energetically, and require less. And that was so tough because there are people that I was like, ooh, we have this real weird energy of like, it feels weighed down. I have to do so much work, but I just want to resolve this. But there are some people who just make friendship easy and really take the time to celebrate those people because they're so great. So, community, but today, we really cut a lot of those cords. Thank you for allowing me to have the space to share. I'm only sharing because I know it's difficult things for me to talk about, and I hope that it opens you up to releasing any of these similar themes or anything else as you're going on in your journey. And just remember, I'm here to help. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how your journey's going. Love to hear about it. So let's just go ahead and disconnect. 3 deep breaths. 2 more. Final breath. Okay, good job. High five. You did an excellent job today. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. So until next time, if no one said it, let me say it to you. I love you. I know you got some beautiful things coming. Be strong. Have endurance. You're going to get through this. We're here as a community, and I got you.